Well, today is the first day of Lent, and if you're thinking about making fish or seafood this month, Chef Adrian has a refresher course on how to get perfectly cooked seafood every time.
Hey folks, good morning. It's Ash Wednesday, which marks the first day of Lent. And for the next 40 days, in true tradition, we'll be asked to sacrifice things like food, festivities, in honor of the events leading up to Easter holiday. Everybody approaches this differently, but no matter what it means to you, the sacrifices you make are meant to serve you in some greater way. Now, seafood comes into play in our dinner menus in the upcoming days in a major way, and I know it can be one of the more intimidating proteins to cook. In fact, it's the question I get asked most about in my entire career is how to cook fish, how to keep it from drying out, how to keep it from overcooking, undercooking, flaking, sticking to the pan, you name it, I've been asked. So we're covering some shrimp, scallops, and salmon today. Easy at-home ideas you can do, maybe with the kids, and hopefully when you head home from the seafood markets, you can have a little more cooking confidence under your belt when it comes to preparing meals for your family during Lent. Let's get started. Little maintenance for my knife. So if you have one of these in your knife set, use it. It's a honer. It keeps your knife straight. This is just a wet towel to keep my cutting board from sliding around. And it's National Sweet Potato Day today also, so we're going to include that on the menu. And I'm just cubing these up with the skin on. We'll fry them up later. I'm zesting a lemon for my lemon butter sauce, and I never run over the same spot twice because it'll get down to the rind and that's bitter. I'm going to save some lemon juice for the sauce as well, and I'm going to shave some parsley off the stems here. I'm going to just give it a run through with my knife. Now notice I'm curving my fingertips inwards while I'm cutting. That's a safety thing. That's a great thing to do. And I'm gripping my knife with my thumb and my forefinger, and that gives you a great handle on the knife. And if you notice, my knife actually never leaves the cutting board. It just glides back and forth. Throw a little coarse sea salt on your garlic to help mince it up. So this is a boning knife for our salmon, and it's meant for filleting fish. It's long and thin, so it gets those nooks and crannies, and it's easy to get the skin off with this knife. Just sliver it between the skin and flesh, and then right off it comes. And I leave a couple pieces with skin on because I do like a crispy salmon skin. So check this out. If you want a good sear on your salmon, salt it for about 20 minutes, and then wipe off the extra moisture that the salt draws out, and it'll give you an even better sear when it hits that skillet. Okay, so next I'm going to do my favorite way to cook salmon. It's just in the pan, a pan-seared salmon with a nice crispy skin. All right, so call me crazy, but salmon skin, when it's cooked perfectly and cooked correctly, it tastes like fried chicken skin, in my opinion. It's got a nice fatty layer underneath, this crunchy outer texture, and it's just so delicious, and it falls apart in your mouth just the way it should. Preheat that skillet on a medium-high heat and make sure it's hot with a little oil and butter before your salmon goes in. And you'll notice that color starts to whiten and change as it moves up the salmon. When it gets to the center, you just flip it over. The crust on this almost looks like pork belly. It is so beautiful. Take the drippings left over from your salmon, add in your zest, your garlic, a little bit extra butter, parsley, and some lemon slices, and let it simmer until it's nice and melted. For my next trick, I'm doing a little mayonnaise, a little Monterey Jack cheese, some parsley and lemon zest, and I'm spreading that over the salmon and baking it at 425 in the oven, in the pan, for about 10 minutes. I think this was my favorite. Now for my sides, I'm just doing my sweet potatoes in olive oil butter with salt, pepper, and garlic only, and a bit of okra and some blister tomatoes in the skillet here, just sauteed in olive oil as well. This is the key to great scallops and great shrimp. Fast and hot, about a minute each side, medium-high heat, a lot of oil and butter. Make sure your skillet's really hot. And if you place them in the skillet in a clockwise position, you can turn them over one by one at the right time they're supposed to be turned over. Now remember this rule. If your shrimp formed the letter C, C stands for cooked. If your shrimp formed the letter O, O is for overcooked. And if your shrimp formed the letter Q, you should have quit cooking them a long time ago. I served the shrimp over some rice with a bit of that lemon butter sauce drizzled. Here's our oven-baked salmon with sweet potatoes and that beautifully crusted pan-seared salmon with the blister tomatoes and the lemon butter sauce.
Good tips. And of course, for more information, you can find Chef Adrian at Complete Eats with Chef Adrian. Visit CompleteEats.com. And we've got those recipes for you on our website as well. It's saliving.com. All right, so to come on San Antonio Living, get ready for a little friendly competition.